Hello, my name is Rachel Tyndall and I'm a specialist physiotherapist working for County Durham and Darlington NHS Foundation Trust. The following exercise programme consists of evidence-based exercises designed to improve strength and balance and reduce your risk of falls. Remember to do the exercises at your own pace. You should be able to hold a conversation while exercising, and while they should be challenging, they should not cause you any pain or discomfort. We're starting our exercise programme with our warm-up to warm our bodies ready for exercise, warm up the muscles and boost circulation. We're starting with our marching exercise, turning to face our support, one hand on the support, our feet are hip distance apart, the knees are soft, spine's in neutral, tummy muscles are pulled in and we're looking straight ahead. And we're starting a gentle march of the legs. Keeping one hand on the support, as you feel able to, you can take that hand away, relaxing the arms down by the side. As we march the legs, this is a slow, continuous movement, and we're going to start to feel our bodies getting warmer as we continue the exercise. We're relaxing the legs down now, bending the elbows, so the elbows are at 90, we're going to go onto our arm march. Marching the arms, the movement's coming from our shoulders, keeping that 90-degree angle at our elbow as we move the arms, looking straight ahead, keeping the length through our spine as we march our arms. Knees stay soft, tummy muscles stay pulled in and our spine stays in that neutral position. We're now going to combine our arms and legs. We can place one hand on our support, marching the legs and marching one arm. If we're happy to, we can march both our arms, keeping straight ahead, chest lifted, and keeping that continuous movement. Feeling our bodies getting warmer now. Resting the arms and legs back down, hands back onto our support. Our next exercise is our head movements. We're going to place both hands onto our support, feet are hip distance apart, the knees are soft, spine's in neutral, tummy muscles are pulled in, chest lifted. We're turning to look over our right shoulder, coming back to the centre and then turning to look over our left shoulder and then back to the centre. We're now going to do 5 repetitions to each side. Keeping the shoulders relaxed down away from the ears as we move the head and moving in our own range. Our chest stays lifted throughout the exercise and we're keeping our length through the spine. And that's our 5 repetitions. Our next exercise is our neck movements. For this exercise, we're going to stand behind our support, but we're not holding onto the support. We're placing our hand onto our chin, keeping our feet hip distance apart, the knees are soft, spine's in neutral, our tummy muscles are pulled in. We're going to use our hand to slowly guide our chin back, feeling the length into our neck and then relax. We're going to now do 5 repetitions. Using our hand to guide our chin straight back, so we're not allowing the chin to go up or down as the chin moves backwards. And as it moves back, we're going to feel that length in our neck, looking straight ahead throughout the exercise. and that's our 5 repetitions. Our next exercise is our trunk movements. For this exercise, we're going to place our hands across our chest. Our feet are hip distance apart, the knees are soft, our spine's in neutral, tummy muscles pulled in. We're going to rotate round to our right, coming back to the centre, and then round to our left and back to the centre. We're now going to do 5 repetitions to each side. As we rotate round, we're leading with our trunk, so lifting up through the trunk before we rotate, and it's our shoulders and head that rotate round. Our hips stay facing forwards throughout the exercise. Keeping those shoulders relaxed down away from the ears as we rotate from side to side. And that's our 5 repetitions to each side. Our next exercise is our back extension. We're staying in standing with our feet hip distance apart, knees are soft, our spine's in neutral, tummy muscles are pulled in. We're going to place our hands at the top of our bottom, keeping those shoulders relaxed down. We're gently arching the lower back and then return to that starting position. We're now going to do 5 repetitions. This is a gentle arching of the back, a slow controlled movement. And as we arch the back, we're going to keep looking straight ahead. On to our 5th repetition, and then back up into standing, relaxing the arms back down by our side. Our next exercise is our ankle movements. Facing our support, we're going to place 2 hands on our support. Feet are hip distance apart, knees are soft, spine's into neutral, tummy muscles pulled in. Starting on our right side, we're going to place our right heel onto the floor and then place our toe on the same spot that we placed our heel. We're now going to do 5 repetitions. Looking straight ahead throughout the movement, keeping that neutral spine, keeping the shoulders relaxed and keeping 2 hands on the support as we mobilise our ankle. That's our 5 repetitions on our right side. We're now going to do the same on our left side. Again, placing the heel onto the floor and then the toe onto that same spot. We're now going to do 5 repetitions. Keeping our right knee soft, looking straight ahead with 2 hands on our support. And that's our 5 repetitions. We're now going to do our upper body strengthening exercises. With all these exercises, we're going to do 5 repetitions, building up to 10 repetitions as you feel able to. And we're going to be using our resistance band for these exercises. Our first exercise is our upper back strengthener. For this exercise, we're moving to the front third of our chair. Our feet are flat onto the floor and hip distance apart. Our spine's in neutral, tummy muscles are pulled in, and we're placing the band across our thighs. From there, we're going to scoop the band up so our palms are facing up towards the ceiling, holding gently onto the band with our hands fist width apart. Elbows are tucked into our side, shoulders are relaxed down away from the ears. We're going to pull the hands apart on the band, feeling that tension, then squeezing the shoulder blades together to bring the band in towards our tummy. Holding there for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then relaxing the arms, resting the band back down onto our thighs. We're now going to do 5 repetitions. Pulling the hands apart on the band, squeezing the shoulder blades together, the band comes into the tummy. We'll hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and relax. And as we do the exercise, as we hold for our 5 seconds, we're going to count those 5 seconds out loud to ensure that we're not holding our breath while we do the movement. As we squeeze our shoulder blades together, we're keeping our shoulders down away from the ears. So we're not allowing the shoulders to move up towards the ears as the arms move back with the band. And we're keeping our elbows tucked in to our side throughout the exercise. That's our 5 repetitions, so rest in there as you need to, or continue on increasing your repetitions, aiming to go up to 10. Squeezing the shoulder blades together to bring the band in towards the tummy, holding there for 5 seconds, and then relaxing the band back down. Keeping our neutral spine position, keeping those tummy muscles pulled in throughout the exercise. We're looking straight ahead so we keep our length through our spine as we move our upper body. We're squeezing the shoulder blades together for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then relaxing the band back down, and that's our 10 repetitions. Our next exercise is our front arm strengthener. For this exercise, we're sat at the front of our chair. We're going to keep our feet flat onto the floor but step our feet back slightly to place the band down in front of our feet with the majority of the band to the right side. 1 foot at a time, we're going to step our feet onto the band to keep the band in place, still keeping our feet hip distance apart. Our right hand is level with our right knee. We've got the tail of the band at the front with our thumb on the top. Our left hand is resting down onto our left thigh. We're starting with a bit of tension on the band and our arm is straight. From there, for a count of 3, we're going to bring the hand up towards our shoulder and then straighten the arm back out again for a count of 3. We're now going to do 5 repetitions. Coming up for 1, 2, 3 and down for 1, 2, 3. As we straighten the arm out, we're still keeping our elbows soft to protect that elbow joint, and we're keeping the elbow tucked in towards our trunk as we perform the exercise. We're counting out loud, going up for 1, 2, 3 and down for 1, 2, 3, just to ensure that we're not holding our breath as we move this right arm. Keeping our neutral spine, keeping our tummy muscles pulled in, and we're keeping our chest lifted to keep that length through our spine. That's our 5 repetitions. We're now going to continue on to do 10 repetitions as you feel able to. Bringing the hand towards the shoulder for 1, 2, 3 and down for 1, 2, 3. Straightening the arm but keeping the elbow soft. Coming up for 1, 2, 3 and down for 1, 2, 3. That's our 10 repetitions on the right side. We're now going to step off the band, stepping our feet back. We're placing the band back down in front of us, but this time the majority of the band's to the left side. Placing 1 foot onto the band and then the other to keep that band secure. Feet are still hip distance apart, our spine's in neutral, tummy muscles are pulled in. Our left hand is level with our left knee. The tail of the band is at the front and our thumbs on the top, resting our right hand onto the right thigh. Again, we're going to go up for a count of 1, 2, 3 and down for 1, 2, 3. And we're going to do our 5 repetitions now on this left side. Counting out loud so that we're not holding our breath as we do the movement, and keeping that elbow tucked in towards our trunk as we bend and straighten our left arm. Coming up for 1, 2, 3 and down for 1, 2, 3. Keeping our tummy muscles pulled in, looking straight ahead, chest lifted to keep that length in our spine. That's our 5 repetitions. We're going to rest there as you need to, or carry on to do your 10 repetitions as you feel able to. We're still counting out loud, so we're not holding our breath as we do the exercise. And keeping our chest lifted, looking straight ahead. coming up for 1, 2, 3, and straightening the arm for 1, 2, 3. And that's our 10 repetitions on that left side. Our next exercise is our back arm strengthener. For this exercise, we're going to be sat at the front of the chair. Our feet are hip distance apart, and we're going to step our feet back slightly to place the band onto the floor in front of our feet, with the majority of the band to the right side. Placing one foot at a time onto the band to secure the band in place. We're going to have our right hand level with our right knee and a bit of tension onto the band. We've got our thumb on top and then the tail of the band at the back. Left hand rests down onto our left thigh. Our spine's in neutral, tummy muscles pulled in. From there, we're going to take the arm behind us, keeping the arm straight. We're taking the arm as far back as you feel able to, and then we're going to hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then bring the arm back to that starting point. We're now going to do 5 repetitions on this right side. Leading back with our little finger, going as far back as you can and holding for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and back to that starting position. As we do the hold, we're going to count out loud those 5 seconds to ensure that we're not holding our breath as we do the movement, and making sure we're keeping that shoulder down away from the ear as we take the arm back. Keeping that neutral spine position, keeping our tummy muscles pulled in. Keeping the arm straight, but we're keeping the elbows soft to protect that elbow joint. That's our 5 repetitions. We're resting there as we need to, or increasing our repetitions up to 10. Still with that 5-second hold, and still counting out loud those 5 seconds to ensure that we're not holding our breath as we hold the position. Shoulders stay relaxed down away from the ears, keeping our chest lifted to keep that length through our spine. Tummy muscles are pulled in. Taking our arm back, we're going to hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and relaxing that arm back to that starting position. That's 10 repetitions on our right side. We're now going to step off the band. We're placing the band back onto the floor, but now the majority of the band to the left side. Placing one foot onto the band and then the other to secure that band in place. This time we're holding onto the band with our left hand. The left hand's level with the left knee. Our arms straight, thumbs facing forwards, the tail of the band is at the back. Spine's in neutral, tummy muscles are pulled in, our chest lifted so we've got that length through our spine, and we're just going to rest our right hand onto our right thigh above the knee. From there, leading with our little finger, keeping the arm straight, we're taking the arm behind us, holding for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then back. Again, we're taking that arm behind us, we're holding for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then back. As we do that hold, we're going to count our 5 seconds to ensure that we're not holding our breath while we hold the movement. And we're keeping our shoulder relaxed down away from the ear throughout the exercise. The arm stays straight, but we're keeping the elbows soft to protect that elbow joint. That's our 5 repetitions on this left side. Rest in there as you need to, or we can increase the number of repetitions, building up to 10. Making sure we're still in our neutral spine, our tummy muscles are still pulled in. We've got that feeling of length through our spine. And we're counting for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as we hold the arm. Leading with the little finger as we take the arm back. Holding there for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and bringing the arm back, and that's our 10 repetitions on our left side. Our next exercise is our wrist strengthener. For this exercise we're going to be sat at the front third of our chair. Our feet are flat onto the floor, hip distance apart. our spine's in neutral, tummy muscles are pulled in. We're going to take our band and fold our band in half and then fold it again. We're going to place one hand on the bottom of the band and then our other hand on top of that bottom hand, keeping our elbows tucked into the side. We're going to turn our wrists in and then pull our hands apart on the band, and we're going to hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and relax. We're now going to do 5 repetitions. So turning the wrists in, pulling the hands apart on the band, holding for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As we do that 5-second hold, we're going to count out loud to ensure that we're not holding our breath as we do the movement. And we're keeping our elbows tucked into the side throughout the exercise. Shoulders are relaxed down away from the ears. Keeping our chest lifted, looking straight ahead to keep that length through our spine. That's our 5 repetitions. Rest in there as we need to, or increasing repetitions as you feel able to, building up to 10 repetitions. Making sure our spine's still in neutral, our tummy muscles are pulled in. And holding that movement for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and relax down. Keeping our elbows tucked in. Holding there for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and relaxing the arms, and that's our 10 repetitions. We're now moving on to our strengthening exercises. With all these exercises, we'll be doing 5 repetitions, slowly building up to 10 repetitions as you feel able to. Starting with our lower limb exercises, we're doing our front knee strengthener, moving our bottom to the back of the chair so that our back's supported, hands are resting onto our thighs. Our feet are hip distance apart, our spine's in neutral, tummy muscles are pulled in. We're going to slowly straighten our right leg out in front of us, going up for a count of 3 and down for a count of 5. We're now going to start our 5 repetitions on this right side. Coming up for 1, 2, 3 and down for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As we're moving the leg, we're going to count out loud to ensure that we're not holding our breath as we do this front knee strengthener. We're straightening the leg out in front of us, but we're keeping the knee soft, so we're not locking our knee joint to protect that knee joint. And we should be now feeling the muscle working in the front of our thigh. That's our 5 repetitions. If that feels enough of a challenge, we're going to stop and rest, but continuing up to 10 repetitions as you feel able to. Going up for 1, 2, 3 and down for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looking straight ahead throughout the exercise, keeping the chest lifted, keeping the length in our spine, tummy muscles are pulled in. That's our 10 repetitions on our right side. We're now going to move to start with our 5 repetitions on our left side. Straightening that leg away from us, up for a count of 3 and down for a count of 5. Again, we're counting out loud as we take the leg up and as the leg comes back down to ensure that we're not holding our breath as we move the leg. Keeping our spine in neutral, tummy muscles pulled in as we do this front knee strengthener, and feeling the muscle working in the front of this left thigh now. That's our 5 repetitions. Rest in there as you need to, or we can continue up to 10 as you feel able to. Continuing to look straight ahead with the chest lifted and counting up for 1, 2, 3 and down for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's our 10 repetitions on that left side. Our next exercise is our back knee strengthener, and for this exercise we're going to come up into standing. Moving our bottom to the front third of the chair, our feet are hip distance apart, flat on the floor, placing our hands to the side of the chair. We're pushing through our legs, through our arms to come up into standing. Pedaling our feet now, we're back up in standing to get the blood flowing, and stepping round to behind our support, placing both hands onto that support. Our feet are hip distance apart, knees are soft, spine's in neutral, tummy muscles are pulled in, and we're looking straight ahead, keeping our chest lifted. We're going to take the weight onto our left leg now, keeping the left knee soft, slowly bringing the heel up towards the bottom for a count of 3 and down for a count of 5. We're now going to do 5 repetitions on that right side. The weight comes over onto our left leg, the right heel comes up for 3 and down for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As that right foot comes back down, we take the weight back onto that right foot before we move the weight back to our left leg to bring that right heel up towards the bottom. We're going to count out loud, up for 3 and down for 5 to ensure that we're not holding our breath as we perform the exercise. Coming up for 1, 2, 3 and down for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's our 5 repetitions, stopping there if that's enough of a challenge, or continuing adding repetitions in up to 10. Coming up for 1, 2, 3 and down for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Using the support, using our left leg to keep that centered position as we bring our right heel up towards the bottom, keeping the chest lifted, looking straight ahead so we keep that length through the spine, and feeling the muscle working now in the back of our leg. And that's our 10 repetitions on the right side. We're now going to move on to our left side, taking the weight onto the right leg now, keeping that right knee soft, bringing that left heel up towards the bottom for a count of 3 and down for a count of 5. We're going to do 5 repetitions on this left side. Coming up for 3 and down for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bringing the weight back onto that left leg between repetitions. And we're counting out up for 3 and down for 5 as we do the exercise to ensure that we're not holding our breath as we move our left leg. That's our 5 repetitions on this left side. Stopping there if that feels enough of a challenge, or continuing to increase those repetitions, aiming for 10 repetitions on this left side. Using the support, using our right leg to keep ourselves centered as we bring this left heel up towards the bottom. Coming up for 1, 2, 3 and down for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's our 10 repetitions on our left side. Our next exercise is our side hip strengthener. For this exercise, we're going to have 2 hands on our support, feet are hip distance apart, the knees are soft, spine's into neutral, tummy muscles are pulled in, and we're looking straight ahead, keeping our chest lifted. We're moving the weight onto our left leg, keeping our knees soft, to bring our right leg out to the side for a count of 3 and back in for a count of 5. We're now going to do 5 repetitions on this right leg, going up for 1, 2, 3 and down for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bringing the weight back onto that right leg between repetitions and then moving the weight across to the left leg to bring our right leg out to the side. And we're going to count out loud as we take the leg out to the side and as the leg comes back in to ensure that we're not holding our breath while we do the exercise. Leading with our ankles so our toes stay pointing forwards throughout the movement. That's our 5 repetitions, resting there as you need to, or continuing to increase your repetitions, building up to 10. Looking straight ahead throughout the exercise, so we're keeping our length through our spine, keeping our tummy muscles pulled in, and toes are pointing forwards on this right leg throughout the exercise. Going up for 3 and back in for 5. Going up for 1, 2, 3 and back in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's our 10 repetitions on our right side. We're now going to change to do our left side. The weight's now going to go onto our right leg to take our left leg out to the side for 1, 2, 3 and back in for 5. We're now going to do 5 repetitions on this left side, going up for 1, 2, 3 and in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Still counting out loud as we take the leg out and as the leg comes back in, so we're not holding our breath while we do this exercise. Leading with the ankle so the toes stay pointing forwards throughout the exercise. That's our 5 repetitions on our left side, so resting there as you need to, or increasing the repetitions, building up to 10. Using the support, using our right leg to keep that central position as we take the left leg out to the side, and keeping our tummy muscles pulled in, chest lifted, looking straight ahead as we move our left leg. And that's our 10 repetitions on our left side. Our next exercise is our heel raises to work the backs of our legs. 2 hands on our support, our feet are hip distance apart, knees are soft, spine's in neutral, tummy muscles are pulled in, and we're looking straight ahead. We're slowly bringing our heels up away from the floor for a count of 3 and then down for a count of 5. We're now going to do 5 repetitions, coming up for 1, 2, 3 and down for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Counting out loud as we do the movement to ensure that we're not holding our breath while we do our heel raises, and thinking about the weight coming on the big toe and the second toe as we lift the heels up to stop our ankles from rolling out. Coming up for 3 and down for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looking straight ahead throughout the movement, keeping our chest lifted. That's our 5 repetitions, resting there as we need to, or can carry on up to 10 repetitions. Coming up for 1, 2, 3 and down for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Feeling the muscles working in our calves now. Shoulders stay relaxed down away from our ears, coming up for 1, 2, 3 and down for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's our 10 repetitions. Our next exercise is our toe raises to work the fronts of the legs now. 2 hands on our support, our feet are hip distance apart, knees are soft, spine's in neutral, tummy muscles are pulled in, and we're looking straight ahead. We're going to slowly lift the toes up away from the floor for a count of 3 and then take the toes back down onto the floor for a count of 3. We're now going to do 5 repetitions, coming up for 1, 2, 3 and down for 1, 2, 3. Counting out loud as we lift the toes up to ensure that we're not holding our breath as we do the movement, and keeping our bottom tucked in so our hips stay over our ankles as we lift the toes up away from the floor. Coming up for 1, 2, 3 and down for 1, 2, 3. That's our 5 repetitions. We can rest there as we need to, or we can continue to increase our repetitions, working up to 10. Shoulders stay relaxed down away from the ears as we keep 2 hands onto our support. Lifting those toes for 1, 2, 3 and down for 1, 2, 3. And that's our 10 repetitions. We're now moving on to our balance exercises. With all these exercises, we're going to start to look at reducing the amount of support that we're using to add an extra challenge to our balance. We're starting with our knee bends. Turning to face our support, we're going to place one hand onto the support. Feet are hip distance apart, the knees are soft, our spine's in neutral, tummy muscles are pulled in, and our chest's lifted, we're looking straight ahead. We're bending at the hip and knees to come down into our knee bend, taking our bottom backwards and then coming back up into standing. We're now going to do 10 repetitions. Bending at the knee and hip, the bottom goes back as if we're going to sit onto a chair, and then slowly straightening back up. Keeping the heels resting down onto the floor throughout the movement. We're not allowing those heels to lift up as we bend at the knees and hips. And we're keeping our chest lifted, so we're keeping the length through our spine throughout the exercise. If we want to increase the challenge of the exercise, we can increase the size of the movement. But as we increase the size of the movement, making sure that we keep both our heels resting down onto the floor. Looking straight ahead throughout the exercise to keep that chest lifted, keep the length through our spine. And that's our 10 repetitions. Our next exercise is our heel-toe stand. For this exercise, we're going to be sideways on, placing our fingertip on our support. We're going to hold our heel-toe stand for 10 seconds. Making sure our feet are hip distance apart, the knees are soft, spine's into neutral, tummy muscles are pulled in, and we're looking straight ahead. We're stepping our outside foot in front of our inside foot to form that straight line. Bringing the weight forward through the front leg so the weight's evenly spread between both the feet. And we're going to hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stepping our outside foot back so our feet are back to hip distance. We're now going to step our inside foot in front of the outside foot to form that straight line. Bringing the weight forward through the front leg so the weight's evenly spread between both the feet. And we're going to hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then bringing our feet back to hip distance apart. Our next exercise is our one leg stand, and for this exercise we're going to just have one hand onto our support. We're going to turn to face our support, placing one hand onto that support. Feet are hip distance apart, the knees are soft, spine's in neutral, tummy muscles pulled in, and we're looking straight ahead, keeping our chest lifted. We're going to take the weight onto the left leg, keeping the left knee soft, to bring our right heel up towards our bottom to form that 90-degree angle at our knee. And we're going to hold there for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then relaxing that right foot back down. We're going to take the weight onto the right leg now, keeping that right knee soft, to bring our left heel up towards the bottom, forming that 90-degree angle at our left knee, and we're going to hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, bringing that left foot back down onto the floor. Our next exercise is our sideways walking. This is a travelling balance exercise, so we're going to be doing this exercise at our kitchen bench, using the support as you need to. We'll move along the kitchen bench as far as you are able to, and then we'll move back and we'll repeat that twice. We're going to have our hands on our hips for this exercise, and if we want to increase the challenge of the exercise, we can increase the size of our steps. We're starting facing our support, hands onto our hips, feet are hip distance apart, the knees are soft, spine's in neutral, pulling the tummy muscles in. We're looking straight ahead with the chest lifted, and we're going to take our sideways steps along our support. And we're going to repeat those steps. And coming back to our support, resting the arms back down by our side. Our next exercise is our backwards walking. This is another travelling balance exercise, and we're going to be using our kitchen bench for support. Moving along the bench as far as you're able to, and then coming back again, and we'll be repeating that twice. We're going to be standing sideways onto our support, placing one hand onto the support, feet are hip distance apart, the knees are soft, our spine's in neutral, we're pulling our tummy muscles in, and we're looking straight ahead. We're going to take our steps back, moving our hand along the support as we do. We're stepping round, and we're going to move back. Stepping round, we're going to repeat the steps, increasing the size of the step as you feel able to increase the challenge of the exercise. Keeping the tummy muscles pulled in and looking straight ahead as we do our backward steps. Our next exercise is our toe walking, another travelling balance exercise, and again we'll use our kitchen bench for support. We're going to turn sideways onto the bench now, resting one hand onto our support. Our feet are hip distance apart, the knees are soft, spine's in neutral, tummy muscles are pulled in, and we're looking straight ahead. We're going to come up onto the toes now, the weight's on the big toe and the second toe, and we're going to take some steps forwards on our toes. Bringing the heels back down, stepping round. Bringing our heels back up to come onto our toes and stepping back along our support. We're repeating that movement, back up onto our toes, stepping round, lifting our heels back up and stepping along our support. Our next exercise is our sit to stand, and we're going to be doing 10 repetitions of this one. We need to start at the front of the chair, moving the bottom forwards to come to the front third of the chair. Feet are flat onto the floor and hip distance apart. Spine's in neutral, tummy muscles pulled in. We're looking straight ahead, keeping our chest lifted. We're going to place one hand onto the chair and have one hand resting onto our thigh. From there, we're going to push up through our legs to come up into standing, stepping our legs back till we feel the chair on the back of our legs, and then slowly controlling us back down into the chair. We're going to do 10 repetitions. Pushing up through the arms and leg as we come up into standing, stepping back till we feel the chair on the back of the legs, and slowly controlling ourselves back into sitting. Moving to the front third of the chair before we go into our stand. Keeping our tummy muscles pulled in, keep lifted up through our chest as we come up into standing. And feeling for the back of the chair with our legs before we bring ourselves into sitting. Our next repetitions, we're now going to place both hands onto our thighs, moving forwards in the chair to the front third. We're going to push up through the legs to come up into standing now, stepping the feet back as we come back down into sitting. As we feel able to, we can do all 10 repetitions without using our arms, just reducing the amount of support as you feel able to, working at your own level. Moving to the front of the chair before we come up into standing, and then moving back, feeling the chair on the back of the legs controlling ourselves back down into sitting. And that's our 10 repetitions. Our next set of exercises are our dynamic balance exercises, and these aim to add an extra challenge. For these exercises, we're going to need a shoe or a slipper, and our first exercise is picking up an object. We're going to come to stand sideways onto our support, placing one hand onto the support. From there, we're going to step forwards, placing the shoe or slipper down onto the floor, and then coming back up. We're then going to step forwards with the opposite leg to pick the shoe up and come back up into standing. We're going to repeat that. Alternating legs as we pick up the object and place it back down. If we're happy to, we can reduce the support, resting the arm down by the side as we place the shoe down and then back up, and as we pick the shoe back up. We're going to leave the shoe down on the floor now to move on to our next exercise, stepping over an object. Again, holding onto our support, we're going to step over the shoe, turning round, and then step back. We're stepping over the shoe, turning round, and stepping back. Again, each time trying to alternate the foot that we step over with. For this next one, if you feel able to, you can reduce the support, resting the arms down by the side, stepping over the shoe, turning round, and then stepping back. Reducing the amount of support while you do the exercise as you feel able to. And from there, we can hold on to our support to bend down and pick our shoe or slipper back up. We're finishing our exercise program with our stretches, starting with our lower limb stretches. Moving to the front third of our chair. Our spine's in neutral, tummy muscles are pulled in. We're going to step forward with our right leg, straightening the leg but keeping the foot relaxed, and placing our hands just above our left knee, resting onto our thigh. We're keeping the length through our spine but bending forwards at our hips to feel a stretch down the back of the leg. And we're going to hold the stretch for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stepping our right foot back now, we're going to place our hands on our right thigh just above our knee, straightening the left leg out, keeping the foot relaxed. We're leaning forwards from our hips, keeping the length through our spine to feel that stretch down the back of the leg, and we're going to hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Our next stretch is for our calf. We're staying at the front of the chair, our spine's in neutral, tummy muscles pulled in, stepping forwards with our right leg, our legs straight but we're pulling the toes up towards us as our heel slides away to feel that stretch in our calf. We're going to hold that stretch for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then bringing the right foot back in. The same on the left side now, straightening the left leg away from us, pulling the toes up towards us as the heel slides away till we feel that stretch in our calf, and we're holding the stretch for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and bringing that left foot back in. Our last stretch is for our chest. Staying at the front of our chair, we're going to place the hands to the back of the chair now, keeping our spine in neutral. We're lifting our chest, squeezing the shoulder blades together till we feel a stretch across the front of the chest, and we're going to hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and relax. You will feel the full benefit of the exercises, improved stamina, increased muscle strength and feeling of well-being if you are able to complete the video 3 times a week. You will feel comfortably tired following the exercises, and some muscle soreness the day after the exercises is normal.